Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Ball and Breakfast Podcast. My name is Gio. Hi, guys. I'm back again with the midweek roundup for the Premier League. So, hope y'all feeling good. Hope y'all feeling great. Better than great. I am. I'm actually very excited about this weekend because I believe that this weekend is the proper litmus test for my Liverpool Football Club. Newcastle FC is on the horizon, alongside some other interesting fixtures like Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. And some people will say to me, hey, Gio, why do you always focus on Manchester United? Because I am the premier numero uno despiser of Manchester United Football Club. I despise them. The fact that they finished higher than me last year absolutely irks me because I'd like to stay back on my perch for quite a bit of time. But unfortunately, nothing lasts forever. Anyhow, I'm gonna go through. First of all, I want to get this out of the way. Want to do my predictions for the fixtures upcoming, right? And also kind of use that into where I see most of the FPL decisions to be made. I'm gonna go and make mine as we speak tonight. Tell you where my head is at. What kind of messed me up last week. First of all, I forgot to take out Kevin De Bruyne out my team. Work was kicking my ass, and you know we have to take care of that dollar bill, y'all, before we get into this podcast life. Until I get enough of you, you watching my podcast in which I get monetized, and I know you're gonna get me there. So I'm gonna say thank you in advance. Love y'all. Anyways, let's get on to the fixtures. So Friday we have Chelsea playing Luton at Stamford Bridge. Obviously, I expect this to be a rout. I expect Jackson to get his first Premier League goal. I expect Raheem Sterling to chip in with an assist and a goal. I'm going for 3-0 for Chelsea. I don't expect Luton to even scratch them. So I would definitely put Sterling and Jackson in my FPL lineup if possible. Not many people are going to take out Haaland for Jackson, but you know, it's definitely one of those weeks for one of those offhand strikers to kind of get into the point system. Going into Saturday. Oh, Saturday. We have Bournemouth versus Tottenham. So this game is an interesting one. I'm going to go on a limb and say I can see the Brentford result with Tottenham all over again. I can see a 2-2 draw, Bournemouth, with Billings scoring and Solanke scoring. I see Son opening his account for the season, and I see James Maddison opening his account for Spurs. Arsenal Fulham. For the Arsenal Fulham game, I'm going to say I'm going for the upset. Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. The Gunners haven't looked particularly good in this season. Two very scrappy wins. I mean, I guess they say the makings of Premier League contention or champions is when you get to win playing poorly. They have won, but they've also played poorly and seem to be quite easy to play through. I don't know. Crystal Palace played some very good football in and around their midfield, and that the balance in that midfield just doesn't seem too right. Partey and Declan Rice just don't seem to vibe off each other well enough. Martinelli is sharp as ever. Saka is playing very well. Odegaard has fallen off for me. I don't like how he started the season. Hasn't started the season as sharply as I would have expected. And glaring issue is Eddie Nketiah, which is an average striker at best. So I'm gonna go with Fulham 2 to win, 2-1 against the Arsenal. Everton relegation. I'm going for Wolves. Wolves 3-0 against Everton. Matthias Nunes, Cunha, and Pedro Neto. Going on to the Brentford Crystal Palace game. I'm going to go with Brentford with that 2-0 win. In Mbuemo and Wissa, that's where I'm going with. Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. As much as it pains me to say this, Manchester United 3, Nottingham 1. That's what I'm going with. At home, I expect Manchester United, especially with the injury of Mason Mount, a little bit more balance in the midfield. Casemiro won't be exposed. Bruno does his thing. He has less defensive responsibilities to think about. 3-1 Manchester United. 2 assists for Luke Shaw. Rashford opens the account. Um, Brighton West Ham. I can see a 2-1 victory for Brighton. Mitoma, Ferguson. Please start Ferguson. He's such a talented striker. Big, robust, but he's quick and he's just deadly. Going into the Sunday game, in which I'm going to spend a little bit more time, obviously, because it's my day. We have Burnley versus Aston Villa. Guys, I'm going for Burnley winning 2-1. Yes, another 2-1. Burnley winning 2-1. I like their interplay with how Vincent Company plays them. They're going to fight for the manager and for the club, and they're not your traditional Burnley. I saw that from match day one on with Manchester City, and I do believe Aston Villa has quite a few defensive frailties. Going now into the Sheffield Manchester City game. Big dub for Manchester City. Haaland at the double. Julian Alvarez with a single. And I can see Phil Foden getting a single. So 4-0 in favor of Manchester City. Now, guys, for the game of the weekend. And as it's my club, Liverpool versus Newcastle. Whew. First of all, the bookies are favoring Newcastle United. I can't even say it. It hurts me to say it. Newcastle United are favored. Yes, favored. For the first time in God he knows how long. Favored to beat Liverpool Football Club. A lot of it has to do with them playing at Tyneside. A lot of it has to do with our struggles from last season. And I want to just focus on where the dangers lie. Liverpool, since the season starts, have taken a Terence Crossford in boxing approach to these matches. Slow starters. Not sharp and ready from the off. Playing our way into the game. Seemingly a little disjointed. We cannot afford that against Newcastle United. We're playing against 2, if not 3, world class midfield players. Let me repeat that. 2, if not 3, world class midfield players. Now, if that's not bad enough, we're also playing against very disciplined players, a very well coached, organized, disciplined back line. Disciplined wingers. Exception is Almiron. I know that. Dynamism is his calling card. But for the most part, Harvey Barnes, discipline, will track back. Will execute Eddie Howe's plan to perfection. On the other side, we have a seemingly indisciplined backline. Not seemingly. Once Trent is in your backline, it's indiscipline. We also have a new midfield, 3 players possibly, because my predicted lineup has Diogo Jota dropping to the bench, Matthias Gakpo, Cody, Matthias, Gakpo in the false nine. Luis Diaz and Salah on each side of him, with Endo, McAllister, and Zaboslai in the midfield. Three players that have never played together. Three midfielders that have never played on the same pitch together against a well coached, well oiled Newcastle machine. And if that's not bad enough, Alexander Isak is a problem. I'm going to say something very controversial right now. As an out and out striker, I prefer Alexander Isak to Erling Haaland. Let that sink in. I prefer Alexander Isak over Erling Haaland. Let that digest. I want to hear what people are going to have to say about that. But he's a problem. Now, in the first two games, we've conceded 2 goals. We've not exercised ourselves to a clean sheet since the season started, and also since the preseason started. Now, gentle people, I must say, I'm worried. I am genuinely worried because if we play with this inverted fullback system, if Trent is not disciplined, if Kanate is not disciplined, if Robbo is not disciplined, we are going to be absolutely thrashed in Tyneside. In addition to which, even though my predicted 11 for Liverpool Football Club is Gakpo, Salah, Luis Diaz, Zaboslai, McAllister, Endo, Trent, Van Dijk, Kanate, Robertson, Allison, I still think that's the wrong selection. Especially when we're playing against a Newcastle who their backline has to be stretched. And when I say stretched, meaning to say we have to create pockets of space in the midfield. And the only way that you're going to create those pockets of spaces in the midfield for your McAllisters to work, for your Zaboslais to drive through, is when you have a striker that's going and running behind the defense. Jota just simply doesn't have the legs since his knee surgery. Gakpo drops deep as a false nine. We need Darwin Núñez, and we are not going to start him. Klopp obviously has an issue with Darwin Núñez. Without Darwin Núñez starting, I believe we're going to struggle. If Darwin Núñez starts, I would comfortably and confidently say 2-0 to the Liverpool Football Club, to the Reds. If Núñez does not start, I can see it being a tussle. I still can see us winning. But it's going to be a long, hard fought, difficult 2-1 win to Liverpool. Worst case scenario, us being thrashed 3-1 or 4-2. I do believe we will score, but I believe there's a high possibility of them scoring as well. Our backline is not, our midfield is not defensively aware enough yet. So, that is my Premier League midweek roundup. predictions for the weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it to your nearest betting company. And if you win something, just shoot me a nice little comment and I can send you a message and you send me some of them winnings. Have a good night. Ball and breakfast out.